Hi, today I'm in the stunning location between Tisbury over there and Chicksgrove, so the Chicksgrove Valley. But I'm going to be painting for you a wet in wet technique, trying to create this ethereal atmospheric light with this beautiful blue, the intensity of the blue across the Salisbury Plain. This is a beautiful area of natural beauty, and you're looking at the Ridgeway and the valley. So that valley over there is not Chicksgrove, it's Swallowcliff. So it's rather stunning, that bit. So I'm going to just capture the autumnal trees because they're very radiant at the moment, and we've got a beautiful sunshine day. It's like summer, it's boiling. I'm standing in a field of fresh grass. It could be spring, but obviously the trees give it away because you've got these little lovely tints of colour. You've got someone having a fire, so you've got smoke coming up through the valley and the woods beyond. So that might be quite interesting to try and capture that. So I'm going to use a horizontal technique and show you how you can create a valley over a wet in wet washes, and I shall guide you through bit by bit. So the paper I'm going to be using today is the Langton Press, rough textured. It's 200 weight. It's a lovely watercolour paper to use. We've got a bit of a back wind. I'm using my new easel, this extendable tripod. So we'll see, because we have to cope with all weathers when we're painting outside. And I thought it would be quite calm today, which it is, but occasionally there's a bit of a wind that gets up. There's always a wind. Okay, so I've got on my little porcelain plate gamboge, which I'm using the Winsor & Newton Coatman range, magnesium blue and rose madder. Okay, so I'm going to wet the paper first, and the perspective is wonderful working like this. So I'm going to show you how you can create perspective in a very simple way and basically create a woodland valley and then the hill ridge beyond. So we're going to break this down, this painting, step by step. I'm using a flat varnish hogshair brush. So I've wet the paper, and we've got a bit of a wind, like I keep saying, so I've really got to hold this because this easel still is not really holding it that well. So I've got to work quick because I don't know if the weather's going to change quite quickly, who knows. So we're mixing rose madder, a little bit of hint of that. And you see I'm sporadically putting washes on, so it creates slits of light. This is the first time I think I've demonstrated on an easel like this, standing up in the middle of a field. But what's wonderful with this technique is you've got particles of light forming. See the little slits? There's where obviously I haven't wet, and that's great because I can really work with that. Okay, so I've got that colour on, and now I'm going to put this lovely blue glaze over. Put a little bit of rose madder into that blue just to tone it down a bit, because magnesium blue is quite a bright blue, but it's a bit more subtle than cerulean. Okay, so I'm going to be skimming across. I keep picking up a bit more paint, fresh paint, as I go with my flat varnish haired brush. Okay, I'm going to take this colour all the way down through because I like reflecting all the different shades all the way down through. So you treat the whole of your painting like a sky at first, okay? So because it's just backwashes, you're not thinking about putting any detail in at all. You just want to get that illusion of the atmospheric light. Okay, so you've got like feathering coming down. And if you don't like that, again, you can just eradicate it slightly. There we go. That's quite a delicate blue, which I like. I don't want it too strong, because it is quite hazy blue. Just slightly, a little bit more. Again, I have to hold onto the pad. I'm not sure if this wind's going to get up a bit more as I'm working. I try not to think about that too much. Okay, so it's very important that you've got that magical, mystical light over the beautiful pale yellow light with the gamboge, and then the magnesium blue with some rose madder mixed into that just to tone it down. And this is how you get this atmospheric sky. The next thing I'm going to focus on is the hill ridge. It's that the distance is very important, so you don't want it too far down. So I'm going to bring it across sort of in the middle, but I want to keep some of that light as well. Okay, so I'm going to sweep mustard gold all the way across this hill ridge. Let it feather down. Also, I'm going to bring in some, I'm just going to slop it on, to be quite honest, because we're working outside, so it's all very sketchy. Some of the trees, the colours of the trees. But again, there's no detail, this is just colour washes over the top. And let that cascade down. I'm going to have a bit more of a sort of richer coppery colour. Again, go across the ridge. Quite a bit of colour. That's really important. Get it nice and wet. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is press with the flat side of my varnish hairbrush. And you see how that creates lovely sort of tree formations cascading down. Just try and keep a bit of that so it looks like the smoke there. Earthier. So really we won't have any of this field in the foreground. I'm going right into where those trees are beyond. So I'm bringing it actually closer to me. I seem to do that quite a lot when I work. It just naturally happens. So go with it if that naturally happens. Go with your vision. The colours reflect all the way through. You're just getting an idea. I'm going to start now doing some darker tones. Again, don't be scared to mix into the same colours. So now we've got like an earthy, browny sort of colours. More and more of those. Oh, I've just had a butterfly going past. Wow, that's amazing. So there's lots and lots of different tones and different shades. Keep using your brush flat and pressing it on and letting it cascade down. feel what you're doing. Feel that, just that bit of the hill. If you get any speckling, which I've got, just slightly do that to eradicate any of the marks. Just fine there. See, when you're working outside, it's impossible. I'm going to get these little splodges. That's what gives it character, doesn't it? The ridge. So be careful when you're pressing across the ridge. Just flow the brush. Again, I'm just pressing the paint on. And then again, when you've used that colour at the top, and then start using it as it starts to dry a bit more, the paper, you start getting more formations and shapes. So your valley then starts to stand out. It's all about build up of different shades and different colours, sticking with the 3-colour technique. And I'm just sort of carving out this valley of different shapes, patterns. Important to have some of those washes that you first put on coming through. And if this wind doesn't stop, I'm going to have to stop and finish this off in the studio. But I've got an idea, which is great. Now I'm going to go just a little bit. So this is a pressing technique again, but on dry, because this area down the bottom is drier. I'm just going to run my brush quite a lot of paint, but then I pat the paint off. You see that? This is a really good technique to get some structures in the trees. Just along the bottom, that's all I want, just a little bit of that along the bottom. I want some of that gamboge now. Brush. That's what I want, that. There we go. Oh, it's wonderful when there's no wind. I wish it would stay like that, but it never does. English painters, we have quite a hard job with our strong winds that we get in this little island that we live on. Look at that. Okay, so it's on dry. Can you see how different that effect is to the ethereal wet and wet effect? In there, so that's totally dried. Now I'm going to show you something, because that's totally dried, that bit in there. So I'm going to wet that bit in there to release some of that colour. Drag some of that colour down, just in there. You see that? There we go. Just pull some of that down. There. It makes it a lot easier. No, I've just got to have a look again. Stand up. Again, I'm just going to drag just in there. That I want to bring a little bit more of that lovely sort of plummy browny colour. Just imagine there's a bit more of that going on. There. Draws your eye into the painting if you've got that, particularly in the central area. Let's just imagine that. Let's just slightly put a bit more of that in. There. Okay, and then along the bottom, I'm going to put a really dark colour now. Got a buzzard up above us. There's a little bird. Look, they're sort of like, I don't know, just annoying each other. It's huge. This area is full of buzzards. It would be lovely if we saw an osprey, because we're nearly getting to that time of the year where the osprey, you might see one in flight in November. Wind has got up, so I'm struggling now. I've got to this stage and I'm trying to get some depth just down here. Some nice colours. I'm now and brushing up just to create a bit of depth right at the bottom. I do this quite a lot just to finish off. And then just leave that to dry and don't do any more really until you get back into the studio. And then you can tweak a few things or not. So when you're outside, you never know how much strength, obviously, to put on the paper. I'm not going to worry about the side bits. It doesn't matter about that really, but let's go with that. There you go. Let's bring in some of that there. What I'm doing now is a dragging technique, and I'm just putting in a little bit of just a very, very suggestive hints of brushing up, sort of dragging. But I've got obviously paint that I've made, like a mixed all three colours together really to make this sort of chocolate brown colour. To create a little bit of interest. Scrubbing. Soft. I think it's all about this bit. Again, dragging up. Bit of an ethereal effect just in there. And there you go. I've now completed my watercolour. I probably might finish this off in the studio because the wind from the southwest has picked up. So yes, we're quite exposed in the middle of this field, but isn't it stunning? It's atmospheric. It feels like early summer temperatures. We've got beautiful colours in the trees, the atmospheric light over the Salisbury Plain, which is in this area, is in Wiltshire. We've just gone over that border of North Dorset where I live, which is over sort of that way, and we're in another different sort of scenery and landscape. It's very flowing and gentle, and yeah, this is what I know. I've walked a lot of this area, so I know it and I feel it. And it's been hard today because of this wind picking up, but I've persevered, and it's given me lots of ideas for more landscapes, more ancient woodland scenes with different special effects and colours. I hope this has inspired you for the winter months to come, and just get out there. Bye for now.